my God. Hello everyone. Today we are still on the same topic we have been on to for a period of time now. We are talking about IGBO ENWE EZE. We are looking into it to see the merit and the truth and falsehood surrounding that phrase. Now, as a people, my name is EZE Nri and I'm an Igbo man, and I'm interested in wanting to know things pertaining my Igbo-ness and things about my people, how we fared, how we progressed before the colonial era. Okoro Victor, you're welcome. We wish to have your opinion in this discussion. On that IGBO ENWE EZE that I started earlier, some weeks back, I want to discuss today about Nri Kingdom. You know, the phrase IGBO ENWE EZE, some persons will argue that it's just a kind of adage explaining the republican nature of an Igbo man. Some others will say that the Igbo people do not have government and are incapable of governing themselves. Hence, the institution of warrant chiefs, when the British were around, when they did their colonial government. You know? But we are here to do justice to that, to understand and know the true position and the truth about the phrase IGBO ENWE EZE, whether if it's just a phrase explaining the republican nature of an Igbo man, or a phrase that actually meant that the Igbos do not have leadership. We want to know, because we'll grab it and we'll go with it without really knowing the actual meaning of IGBO ENWE EZE. You know, in Igbo language, any language spoken in Igbo is a code. Don't just say things. There are codes containing some huge messages in. But I want to look at this IGBO ENWE EZE now. So I want to talk about Nri Kingdom, how it was founded, the time and the things contained within the kingdom. Whether we have king or not, I want to know. Talking about Nri Kingdom now. Nri Kingdom was an ancient kingdom which lasted for more than 1,000 years. Nri Kingdom was founded around 826 AD up until 1911, when the British government forced the Eze to renounce some of the taboos and the sacred laws contained in the kingdom, and forced the Eze to appear in a district court in Oka, and forced Eze to give up political powers he was wielding in 1911. We check from 826 AD to 1911 AD. It's more than 1,000 years that his kingdom lasted uninterrupted. At Nri Kingdom, the Nri Kingdom had an Eze Nri. An Eze Nri. And an Eze Nri was like a priest king who wielded divine powers. The influence of Nri spreaded far beyond Igbo land, what we have today as Igbo land. It was far reaching beyond that, up to areas like Igala, which is in Kogi State today, some part of Benue, even up to Benin Kingdom. The influence of Nri saturated the entire region. It was a place of learning and spirituality, with vast and huge influence, and with an Eze Nri who was a divine being, who was feared, who was revered like a god. The making of an Eze Nri was such that it was not elective position. An Eze Nri was chosen by Afa through divining. A Dibia will tell who will succeed at the demise of an Eze Nri. The next succession will be chosen by a Dibia who will perform Afa. After the end of the Alpha exercise, he will not tell whom the gods, whom Chukwu have chosen to become the next Eze. The candidate for Ezeship in the Nri Kingdom, for Eze Nri, will pass through several ritual cleansing and must have had all the titles up to the highest title within the kingdom, and then will pass through all manner of ritual cleansing. And Eze Nri, a candidate for Eze Nri, will have to be buried for 3 days ceremonially after cleansing. He will bury the candidate for 3 days, and after 3 days, that burial symbolizes death, that the candidate have died, and after 3 days he will come back to life as a spirit before becoming an Eze. And after the resurrection of the candidate back to life, because the burial, what they do is they will bury the candidate under the earth, but the head will be out. And after 3 days, they will exhume him out again, symbolizing death and resurrection after 3 days. And after that, the candidate for Eze Nri will go to Ezu River in Aguleri. At the confluence of the river where Ezu joined with Omambala, divers will dive deep to the bottom of the river and came and scoop clays from that point, with which they will mold a pot which is called Udu Eze, with which the candidate will drink. The candidate for Eze will drink from that pot that its clay was scooped from the confluence of Ezu and Omambala. These things are before the person will finally become an Eze Nri. The process of becoming an Eze Nri, as the tradition have it in the ancient Nri kingdom. And after that, the candidate will visit all communities that descended from the kingdom. After the visit, he will return to Nri and embark on another visit again. I will now visit Umeri clan. And the Umeri clan is about 118 clans, communities, 118 communities. You visit all of them one after the other. After which he will now return to his palace, to his Obi, where all the communities that he visited will now come and pay him homage. He will now stay in his palace and receive all of them. After all these processes, an Eze Nri is born. An Eze Nri lives secludedly. Cannot be seen by human, because an Eze Nri was regarded as a spirit, or half human, half spirit. Doesn't come out publicly. He lived secludedly. Doesn't talk to the people direct. He talked to the people through some prosy. A group of officials that were known as Ndi Nri. They are the people through whom Eze Nri communicates to the people. Ndi Nri. And they are recognized by a facial itchy mark. There's a kind of mark that they have on their face, like this. It's called itchy mark. That's how we know Ndi Nri, who are ritual experts, ritual professionals. It's through them that Eze Nri communicates the people. Ndi Nri travels beyond Nri area, the immediate Nri area. They travel beyond to other far communities with a staff of peace. So any community they enter, they are recognized because of the itchy mark. They enter communities freely. Once they see anybody with that mark, they allow them into their communities, knowing that they are Ndi Nri, they are from Nri kingdom. That was how the influence of Nri spreaded the entire IGBO region and beyond. This Ndi Nri goes with a staff of peace. They perform rituals, cleansing the land of human crimes. And in case of disputes or conflict between communities, they usually come to settle for communities, selling Nri tradition and ordinary to these communities. which is why virtually almost the whole Igbo communities have similar traditions. Almost the entire thing came from one place. It was sold around by this Indian, and they carry the authority of Eze Nri with them, so they are untouchable. They went about conferring other titles to the nobles among communities, and also getting some communities to swear an oath of allegiance to the kingdom. That was how the influence of Nri spreaded across Igbo land, and it became an empire. In Nri kingdom, they have Ordinary and the Omenani, which is the religion that they practice. Their norms, culture. This serves like legal and moral laws binding the community together. And Nri was able to sell their Ordinary and Omenani to other communities by persuasive means, by persuading them, not by force. People bought the civilization of Nri willingly, unlike the way they brought Islam to you with sword and arrows, or the way they brought Christianity with guns and bullets. The Ordinary and the Omenani were sold across Igbo land and beyond with persuasion, with conviction. At the time, within those days, the Nri was known as a land of magic and was greatly feared among all the kingdoms around, like the Benin Empire, the Oyo Empire, and Nupe Empire. Greatly feared in the kingdom, that no kingdom ever dared to attack them, because they were greatly feared among all. We also have an educational system. They had an educational system, though it was informal. According to in the traditional setting, the child belongs to the entire community. So as soon as a child can talk, the parents, the omona, starts teaching the child the norms, customs, and traditions of Nri, inculcating it in the child. The Ordinary and Omenani were oral traditions. They were not written. So that is why they take the child young and teach it to him or her. The child takes it in as he grows, and it forms part of the child. And it is based on that at adulthood or at adult age, the person can make his own judgment, and his attitude to life are formed by this education he got from childhood. You don't just born a child and allow him to grow. No, because there are also taboos. There are dons that you must never do. This is why they are very careful to educate their children from like 2 years or 3 years. The moment the child can talk, you start teaching the child the norms, the customs, of Nri Kingdom. It was a well-organized empire. At Nri, they also have calendar, a well-defined and standard calendar of counting their days, their weeks, and months. It's called IGBO. You can say it's a traditional calendar in which 4 days makes a week and 7 weeks makes a month. 13 months makes a year. Most of our people today don't know these things. We know the Roman calendar. Even the what they call it, the moon orbits the earth in 28 days, but some months here in Roman calendar will count to up to 31. At Nri, it is 28 days that makes a month, 4 days makes a week, 7 weeks makes a month, 13 months makes a year. They were able to also study the solar system. We are counting their days, their weeks, and their months, and also their years. So it's good that we also understand that we had our own calendar, and that we also know how we count it. So I will try to count it now. Our days will have Eke, Ori, Afo, and Nkwo. Eke, Ori, Afo, Nkwo. That is 4 days. These are 4 market days that we'll have in Igbo land today. But I can tell you that it started from Nri Kingdom, now sold to other Igbo communities. Then for the months, we have 13 months. We have ọnwa mbụ, ọnwa abụọ, ọnwa Ife Eke, ọnwa anọ, ọnwa Agwụ, ọnwa Ifejiọkụ, ọnwa Alọmchi, ọnwa Ilo Mmụọ, ọnwa Ana, ọnwa Okike, ọnwa Jan, ọnwa Ede Ajan, and ọnwa Ụzọ Alụsị. These are 13 months, which makes a year in Nri calendar, traditional calendar. Like ọnwa mbụ, is if you compare with Roman calendar, It's around late February. Then the last month, Onwa Ozalose, is within January. That is the last month of the year in the traditional calendar. Frank Ikechukwu, I'm bringing you in. I've added you. As I wait for you to come on, I will continue talking. I just choose to talk about Nri today to show that the Igbo society have a proper organized government. It's not noise. The phrase IGBO ENWE EZE emanated from the colonial masters, the British. When they came to our place, they now saw that the kings does not decide issues alone. So they found it difficult to because the king alone cannot say this is what will happen. Like when they are creating taxes that every male child will pay so. Only the king cannot say yes or no. You have to consult the people. We have institutions in Igbo society. By institutions, I mean political institutions in Igbo society. Following it hierarchically, we have Eze Nri as a political institution in Igbo society. Eze Nri, the first stage. We have Umunna, which is the Council of Elders, the kindred meeting as the second stage. We now have titled men, also titled men. We also have the diviners as a political institution. Frank, I'm trying to bring you in. I don't know. I had already added you now. I haven't seen you. Frank. I don't know what is happening. You can send me a request again and I will bring you in. Frank Ikechukwu. You can send me a request and I'm online. I'm adding you again. It's all right. And let me continue. As I was saying, we have Eze Nri as a political institution. As a political institution in Igbo society. We have Umunna we have ndị nze n'ọzọ, we have ndị na-agba afa like diviners, we have age grade. We now have the chief priest of the land. We have Umada. These are political. Before we now have the ECOB, the Igwe or the king. These are political institutions that must be carried along in taking any political decision. That was why the British found it difficult to run over Igbo society. And at the end, they went about saying that the Igbos are a people without king. Hence, you have a phrase swimming all over the media spaces today as IGBO ENWE EZE. It came from the British. It never came from our people because we had kings and we still have kings. We have leadership, proper one, well structured. The only thing is that we do not have tyrannical ones. We had monarchs, but we are democratic. The Igbos practiced democratic republican democracy. That is what the Igbos practice, republican democracy. Not the one that somebody will just stand up from on top of his wife and come and tell us one thing, and everybody will say KBC. It's not done that way in Igbo land. We recognize the position of our Igbo's, but in our tradition and ordinary, they carry us along in taking all decisions, all political decisions. It's what the people says agreed to that the IGBO or the EZE will enact. The democracy that are championing today across the world started in Igbo land. That was why the British find it difficult putting our people down. Across entire Africa, the only place they had the highest resistance was in Igbo land. That was why the protests they went about saying that the Igbos are kingless society. That was a lie from the pit of hell. And that is what we have come here to dispute and to put the record straight. Today I'm only talking about Nri Kingdom. In the past, I talked about Aro Confederacy. That was a powerful political system. And yet, this since we are there, they went about saying that we had no kings. We still have Nnewi Kingdom. We have this ancient kingdom, we have Nnewi Kingdom, founded around 1400. We also had the IGBO Kingdom. These are Igbo kingdoms now. Because of difficulties that the British suffered with our people, because we gave them yam and sand. In protest, they are looking for what to say or how to put us down. And now came out with the Igbos are kingless. The Igbos does not have leaders. The Igbos is not organized society. And yet they came with gun to give us Christianity. But he was able to persuade people to buy their tradition and to swear oath of allegiance to them, to Israel, without gun. Between one that forces you with gun to go with him and one that was able to use prior knowledge, who is more civilized, who is more organized. Putting it on a level playing ground of debate, the Nri society was more civilized than the British society. When the Portuguese visited above Benin. I wanted to move further towards east. He told them that the land there is a holy land, that they had taboos. It's a revered place. You don't go there anyhow. The fear of we gripped the entire region and beyond, but they were popular and known for their knowledge and spiritual powers. So I'm here to state that the Igbos have king. It's not a thing to kill myself or to start bragging too much. Igbos had kings. Igbos had leadership. Igbos still have leadership today. I don't think I will need to overflood this issue. I think I have made the point I came to make today, stating that the Igbos have king. I expected to have input from my viewers. Well, none is coming yet, but I know that in the future I'll be having contributors in this program. We are here to promote the Igbo-ness and to sell our civilization to non-Igbos and also to our own people who do not know. Please, my viewers should share this video. I want more people to come in to hear this good news and to absorb it, because the Igbos are a very organized people. There are many other aspects of the Igbo civilization, but I will not exhaust all in this video. In the coming weeks, we will be taking them one after the other. One after the other. I thank you very much, and I think I'll be winding down. In the future, we'll be talking about what Alosi is. What is Alosi? What are the possible things that we have today in Igbo society? The concept of most of the things we have in our tradition. We will dig deep to explore and to get the true understanding and meaning of some of them. I think at this point, I will be going off air now. Thank you very much for watching and for listening to us. Once again, my name is Eze Nri.